Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Tall Man Cruise Adventures Live. I am your host, Robert, a.k.a. The Tall Man. This is my co-host and lovely wife, Lisa, a.k.a. Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone ever calls her that. We are coming to you live from Tall Man Mobile. We are not on the MSC Magnifica. We got off a couple days ago. But we are going to talk about our overall opinions of whether or not you should book MSC Magnifica, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So we want to welcome everybody to the show. We appreciate you so much. Housekeeping, if you have a question about MSC or any cruise topic for that matter, and you're live with us, do us a huge favor. Leave it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, Lisa and I answer all our questions, so just leave your question in the comment of the video. That being said, do us a huge favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, become part of the Tall Man Clan. It is free to you, costs you nothing, and it really does help us out, and we certainly do appreciate it. So,
yes, we do.
Yes, we do. I was going to say, you're going to say something? You move the mic.
Yes, I did.
Everybody listen carefully. Listen carefully. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? Oh, listen to that ocean. Isn't that amazing? Oh, I just love that.
I love the sound of the ocean.
I do too. I do too. So we are going to categorize, when we give a final review, we're going to categorize it in 10 compartmental subject matter, if you will. So the first one, we're going to talk about embarkation, and then we're going to be talking about the cabins, and then the buffet. We're also going to talk about main dining or just dining, right? The overall dining experience, the bars, activities, entertainment, customer service, the ship itself, and of course, the overall experience. And that is how we are going to talk about this review. So are we ready to get into it, Lisa?
Let's do it.
All right, let's... Oh, what is that? What is that? You all go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and start.
All right.
All right, embarkation on the Magnifica for us was the fastest, smoothest, easiest embarkation of any cruise we have ever been on. It was insane.
We did arrive a little bit early because we had just booked the cruise
We had no
36
tickets.
hours and prior to sailing, and we had no tickets.
We had no tickets.
So we arrived a little bit early.
No luggage tags.
No luggage tags.
Yep.
And
But I don't think that matters because we've shown up early to cruises before, and there's usually a line, and you got to wait, and you got to snake in, and you do this and you do that, and you got to sit down, you got to wait for your number to be called aboard, and all these different things. The reality is none of that happened. Yes, we were in a line, but because we had gotten there just a little bit early, we were towards the front of the line. In fact, we were second in line. But even if we were 30th in line, it didn't matter, or 40th or 50th. As soon as the doors opened, they let us go in, and we sort of did a little bit of a queue thing until we got up to where you could show your passport and then go through the security scanners. That was not quite opened. I think they opened the building slightly earlier because it was beginning to rain a little bit.
I agree, and
Okay.
I think they just wanted to have the indoors open to...
Because people were starting to line up, and so
Yes.
we'll get as many people in that little waiting area first. We hadn't gone through security, hadn't checked in yet, but we just at least in the little entryway of the building,
Yes,
of the terminal.
out of the rain.
So as soon as the all clear, 0 passengers was called. If you didn't know, that's what it's called when the previous cruise, all the passengers have left the ship. They call it, 0 count.
And customs has cleared the ship.
Yep. So when it's 0 count, I heard it on the radio, and they turned right around and they said to security, "All right, let them in." And zoom, went in, scanned right up to the counter. She checked us in, took our little pictures, printed our boarding passes, again, since we didn't have tickets, and then right up the escalator. And we were expecting to then have to sit and wait 20, 30, 40 minutes, whatever it is, normal, right?
Yeah.
Until they start calling numbers and stuff. None of that. They we were shocked.
Right onto the gangway.
Right into the ship. We were on the ship. We should have looked at our watch. We really should have. But
I think we were too stunned.
Yeah.
I think we were.
We had to have been on the ship by 10:15.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree.
It had to have been by 10:15.
Yeah.
It was the earliest. In fact, it could have been even earlier.
I think it may have actually been maybe prior to 10.
I don't know. We were done
early.
videoing all the cabins by 11:30.
Yes.
The 11 cabins that we shot for you guys, we were done by 11:30. So mind you, we got on the ship, found our cabin, dumped our luggage, mic'd up, and then went running around the ship getting cabins. Done by 11:30.
And we got the spa.
And we could spawn there too, yeah.
Yeah. The kids area wasn't open, so we had to make reservations to go back and see
Do that.
A lot of times we try to get the kids area and the spa on the, embarkation day as well before the kids get in there. But yeah, we videoed those rooms and the spa.
Yeah, so this was definitely by far thumbs up without a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
again, thank you all for the thumbs up. Speaking of thumbs up. All right, so we ready to move on to the next subject? Let's move on to the next subject. All right, the cabins. So, the Magnifica is 14 years old, and so built by 14-year-old standards, if you will. We had an inside cabin, but it turns out we had an inside accessible cabin. So, our opinion's going to be a little bit, disjointed because we had all kinds of room.
We walked in and I told Robert, I says, we've got more room here than we do in our RV.
I know, it was crazy.
More floor space.
It was a pretty big space in there.
Yeah.
I would say this, for a 14-year-old ship that has seen 14 years worth of passengers coming and going, I felt all the cabins that we looked at were in fairly good shape.
I agree.
I didn't see anything that was really like trashed or
I didn't
beat
either.
up.
The drapes and the carpet, the sofas, they all looked like they were in good shape. The
Yep.
linens all looked like they were new.
Yep.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of, a lot of times furniture tends to look beat up.
Yep.
I didn't see that in the staterooms that we were looking at.
No.
So, yeah, I thought it was all in really good shape. Artwork looked great in there.
Yep. Couple of notable things. Their regular balconies are called junior balconies. That's what they call them. They do not have sofas. Again, like 14 years ago, they weren't putting sofas in balconies. Now it seems that they're in all cruise ships, the newer ships they're building, right? A little bit more space. So their junior balconies do not have sofas.
No, so the rooms are a little bit smaller than they are today on today's
Correct.
ships.
I would also add, disappointed with the Aria suites. It had the same size bathroom as the regular cabins did. The only exception was their top one, which was the deluxe premium deluxe Aria suite, whatever the word is. That had a shub tower combo, a tub shower combo. Yeah, that. But outside of that, the Oria balcony, as well as the premium balcony, or whatever the other one was, had the bathroom just like the regular cabin. So that was a little disappointing to me. I was expecting slightly bigger.
Yeah, I would have.
I mean, it's a suite,
exactly.
right? So you expect.
I would have expected a little bit more space in
Yeah.
there.
We turned around, I opened the door, I was like, oh, whoa,
Yeah.
it's just a
It looks just
regular.
like everything else.
Yeah. So
But you do get the extra amenities. So
yeah,
that's
meaning
nice.
top
You get to go to
16, so the
yes.
solarium and bathrobes, upgraded linens, and a few other things. So that's good. I mean, so overall, I would say outside of the disappointment of the suite not having a bigger bathroom, I would say for this ship, 14 years old, we were digging the cabins.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I thought they were well done.
Yep, we would definitely both give them thumbs up. If I could find my thumbs up, I would play it for you. But here it is. Yeah, thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right. Shall we move on, everybody?
Let's do
Moving on? All right, let's move on. The buffet. Okay, so
This one was old school.
Yeah, this one, well, 14 years old ship, right? So
Yeah.
before they started sort of changing things up, when you first come into the buffet, if you're coming from the front of the ship walking towards the back, it's mirror image. So there's these two little circles, one on one side of the ship, one on the other. Circles, circles, circles. And in there, that was more of a healthy section.
Agreed. They had in the morning. They had your yogurts and your
Yep.
overnight oats, and they had fruits and things like that.
Right.
Lunchtime they had salads and fruits and a lot.
A keto salad, pre-portioned out in a little bowl, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But past that, the buffet straight line,
Yes.
and all the way to the back, both sides. And so, being a smaller ship, max capacity according to customer service on the ship was 3,400. Max capacity that I can look up online says 32. So somewhere between max 3,200 and 3,400. We had 2,800 passengers, and I felt the buffet was fine. It's again, it's a smaller ship, so there's not going to be as many stations, which means there'll be slightly less offerings than maybe some of the bigger ships. You if you've gone on again any Oasis class ships or Icon or with MSC, even their World Europa or any of the sea ships, their buffets are much bigger. Again, the Carnival XL class ships, their buffets are much bigger, right? But there wasn't a lack of anything on the buffet.
For the space that they had, I thought that the variety was really, really good.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Seating, we, again, never had an issue trying to find a seat at all. The only complaint I could offer about the buffet, or at least a comment on the negative side, would be there's a wall, like a little half wall, that separates the buffet and the seating area. And the walkway. So the walkway area, you've got people bellied up to the buffet getting food. You got people looking at the buffet and the food, just trying to figure out if they want to stand in that particular line or not. And then you got people walking. And I'm telling you, that walkway in some places wasn't much more than 6 feet wide. Maybe 8 feet.
Agreed. It was a little tight when the peak hours.
Yeah.
It was a little tight.
It got a little congested,
Yeah.
right? And so,
but even so, no lack of seating.
no lack of seating. We never experienced that.
No.
Right. The drink stations, there were one, two, three, four. It's either 4 or 6. I can't remember. Coffee and juices, right? The little self-serve juice machine where you have lemonade, iced tea, strawberry, kiwi. This is in the afternoon. Breakfast. It was all the normal fare for those who are used to cruising. For those who aren't used to cruising, in the morning you'll have apple juice, orange juice, cranberry juice, and I can't remember what the fourth one is.
I want to say like banana or...
Oh, like a banana pineapple.
Banana pineapple.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the afternoons, it's it changes. It's weird, and they're not always the same. Meaning, this drink station might be a little different than that one, but you're getting a combination of lemonade, iced tea, strawberry kiwi. The banana pineapple seems to stay out. Okay, and so that happens in the afternoon. What I was most intrigued about the drink stations is they were set up in a very ergonomic sort of way. I don't know why, but the cruise lines and the cruise ships don't put things in order. Like when you're going to go get a drink, first thing you need a cup. And then after you get your cup, 95% of the time, you're going to want some ice. And then after you want the ice, then you're going to want whatever you're going to put in the cup with the ice. And so, cup, ice, drink. And sometimes it's never in a row. So the cup might be here, the ice is going to be down there, and then the drink's in the middle. And so there's this thing that goes on, the dance, the drink station dance.
Yes.
That's what I call it, right?
Yes.
And I step back and I'm like, I'll video it on another ship one time. You'll understand what I'm talking about. The drink station dance.
Yes.
For those who've cruised, you know what I'm talking about. For those who haven't, the drink station dance. Not on this ship.
No.
It was perfect. On one end was coffee cups. The other end were the regular drinking cups. Next to the coffee cups was the coffee, and then the cream and sugar. Next to the cups was ice and water, and then the actual drink dispenser, right? Whatever juices you're going to get.
Yes.
And so you start at one, and boom, and boom. I'm like, oh my
How-
Lord,
yeah.
was it that hard?
It seems like it is, but yeah, it was odd.
Yeah.
It was almost odd because we're so used to doing the shuffle, you
Yeah.
know?
what I find amazing is even, I mean, the brand new ships that come out, it's all discombobulated.
Yes.
It's crazy. So,
Yes.
overall, we enjoyed the buffet.
Yeah.
And make sure, if you're going on MSC Magnifica or any MSC ship for that matter, got to get a slice of pizza.
Oh, yeah.
MSC makes the best pizza at sea.
Yeah, they do. And on this ship in the very back, they had this, the areas went around. So you had, they called it like ethnic foods on one side, and then they had the kids buffet over here. They make onion rings.
Onion rings.
They are incredible.
Oh man, we had
The
some onion
onions
rings.
were just like melt in your mouth. You bite into them, and it's like, oh wow, they were really good.
I didn't think I was going to enjoy onion rings so much, but holy crap, those were good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those were really good.
They get a thumbs up for their onion rings and an applause.
They do.
Oh, the onion rings were fantastic.
And I have never tried their onion rings
No.
before.
No,
I don't think I've ever noticed them
well,
before, to be honest.
we're not necessarily big onion ring.
No,
people
that's
every
true.
once in a while will get some somewhere, but it's like, But we were walking by. I was walking by and I saw some first. Let me grab a couple. So I grabbed a couple and I went back and I put the tray down and I ate the first one. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Lisa, try this. And she's like, no, try this. And she tried it. And then her response was the same. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going back for more. So I got a plate of them, We chowed on some onion rings. So yeah.
Yeah, we did. The buffet, appearance-wise, I thought it was beautifully done.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
really looked
the buffet looks nice.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, moving on. Ready? Let's move on. Oh, do we actually have to physically give it the thumbs up? Okay, thumbs up for the buffet. Yeah, thumbs up for the buffet. Okay, moving on. Pev's like, onion rings. We're going to say hello to y'all, get your comments, but that one just popped up in my face. Onion rings.
Oh, they were good.
All right. All right, so dining. This ship has two main restaurants, if you will, right? Your dinner, your main dining rooms. There's no specialty restaurants except for the sushi place.
Correct.
So you've got your buffet, you got your sushi place, and you got the two main dining rooms. That's your food offerings on the ship. Of course, we've been on several MSC cruises recently, and so the menus were the same. And so if you've been following us, or if this is the first time you're joining us, we will normally post pictures of the food we eat and the menus and all that stuff. We did not do that for the Magnifica because we had just gotten off the Seascape, same menu. It's just the Seascape was a 7-day, and this is a 4-day, so we only had 4 days of the same menu, the first 4 days. I can also say, as far as ships go, this was probably the smoothest main dining room experience we've had in quite a long time.
In quite a while, yes. I agree. We were a little concerned the first day.
Yes.
Because it took a while for our server to come over.
It did.
But, once he got there, man, it was excellent service.
Bam.
Yeah.
Well, so first day in main dining room, again, we'll talk to the new cruisers out there. First, on the first night, service is going to be a little slow for a couple of reasons. One, all your servers are lined up at the front when you come in because they're going to walk you to the tables, right? And so they've split, all the servers up a little bit, and they're standing by the doors. And so when you first sit down, they're still helping people in. Okay. And they do this for like the first 15 or so minutes, first 15 or 20 minutes. And so after day one, you just walk in and go right to your table, and they're already there waiting for you, if you will. So on the first day, it's gonna be a little bit slow. So, but we sat down, and then for us, the next thing was we were sat at an 8 top. We're like, uh-oh. Now, we love having dinner with other people. We love the conversation. We love meeting new people. Obviously, we have a YouTube channel. We're talking to you guys. We do a lot of lives, and so we're not shy about hanging out with people and meeting people and all this stuff. However, the clock
dinner. Yeah.
is usually ticking for us because we usually have a stream to get to, an event like, we're doing now, 9:00. And so typically at dinner, we would prefer to do just dine by ourselves so we can get in, get out, eat our food, be happy, and leave. However, 8 top. We're like, oh no. So we sat down, and it turns out the first night we ate by ourselves.
We did.
Nobody else sat down.
Yeah.
So there's 2 seating times, by the way, 6:00, and I think it's either 8:15 or 8:30. Lisa thinks it's 8:30.
I believe it was 8:30.
We may have taken a picture of the sign, but I don't remember. So let's just say 8:30. So we were at the 6:00. And so anyway, once the waiter came up, boom, 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 service was fast. On day 2, we show up on time. We're on time people. Sit down. He was there within a couple minutes. There's the bread and the butter, which is great, real butter pats for you butter aficionados.
It was good too.
None of that
nice and salty.
Whipped crap in a little ramekin. Real butter was really good. The bread was good. It was fresh. On day 2, we sat down again, ordered. The menus it's a QR code thing. You scan it with your phone and it brings up the menu for you. If you're not a cell phone person, you can't ask for a paper menu. They do have them. Okay. But you will scan it with your phone. All right. And so 25 minutes into, no, I'm sorry. Day two. Day 2, there was another couple with us.
Yes.
And they got there just before we did. And so.
Tina and Cleve.
Hello, Tina and Cleve. Anyway, dinner was fast. I'm telling you, we were out of there in an hour.
Yeah.
It was great, even for the 4 of us. And it's just boom. And we love our appetizers. So we're not just usually getting a soup and a salad. We're getting the soup and the salad and the spring rolls
and the stuffed meatballs.
It's like we'll take the left side of the menu. Just bring it.
Would you like an appetizer? Yes.
Yes.
All of them.
Which one do we have to choose? So when you do more than just a soup and salad, typically it slows the process down a little bit. Not with them. And some of it could be because I eat fast and I'm the one that has more appetizers than this one. And so, it just kept on going. It just kept on going. And it wasn't too fast, wasn't too slow, but we were in and out. Every night, the shows start at 7:30. We were there in plenty of time.
Yeah.
With dessert and everything.
Yes.
So, but the third night, there was Cleve and Tina were gone. They moved them to a different table. They tried to move us, and we went, hey, we didn't ask to be moved. They was like, okay, go back to the other table. And so this other couple showed up, but they showed up about 25 minutes late.
Robert and Lena.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And normally what would happen, hey guys, they would slow down our process to let them catch up so the waiter's doing everything just one time.
Yes.
They didn't do that. We got served, and they sort of, even though we're at the same table, they treated us separately, right?
They did.
We were completely done with our desserts and everything, and they had just gotten their dinner.
Yes.
And so I appreciated that. That was a unique thing because normally they stop serving you, and they, I don't want to say rush, but they try to get the people that are coming in a little bit on the late side.
And everybody
caught
has
up.
their entrees at the same time, but
yes,
yeah, they didn't do that for us, so
no.
we were very, very happy about that. Yeah.
So again, overall main dining room experience, fantastic. We enjoyed the food. If you book MSC, you got to try the fire roasted tomato soup.
Yes.
Oh, and the stuffed meatball.
Yes.
Oh, that's all first night stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so good. Though I would say on this ship, the meatball we had, it's stuffed with mozzarella.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much as in the sea ships we had been on.
Correct.
For both
agree.
of us.
Yeah, I felt the same way. The other ships, it was a chunk
It was
of
a nice
mozzarella
chunk.
in there, and
There
it
was a little sliver.
This was just a tiny piece.
And the meatball was
Smaller.
I don't know if it's small or not, but for me, I would have liked it to be a little bit warmer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We talked about this before in one of the other streams. There was just a couple of things. They were cooked. It would have been nice if it was slightly warmer. It wasn't cold.
It
wasn't
warm.
Like, I mean, the soups were always nice and hot, but it was like, oh, okay, can you like put that under the warmer for like 60 seconds? That's all it needed.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, shall we move on?
Let's do it.
Let's move on. The bars. Okay, housekeeping notes. We don't drink, generally speaking. And so we didn't visit a single bar. Okay. However, we paid attention to all the bars. And so our review of bars is, we're going to have, y'all have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's things that we notice. Every single bar had a specialty coffee machine.
They did.
So you didn't have to like find that one specialty coffee place on the ship. Any bar you go up to, you can get a specialty coffee of any kind.
Yes.
Okay. And I never heard one person complain about the bar service, about the drinks, about the coffees, about any of that.
I didn't either. And walking by, we're out, videoing and getting, pictures and videos of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And walking by, and the bartenders were all very friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, "Hey,
Yeah.
how you doing?"
Yeah.
Even though we weren't going up to the bar, typically, the bar servers, a lot of times they don't acknowledge you unless you're walking up to the bar.
Correct.
But these guys,
there's
they
the
were,
3-foot rule.
Yeah.
If you're not bellied up to the bar, they don't care.
Yeah, but
These guys were, hey guys,
Yeah, if they weren't helping somebody at the time and they just see you walking by, they'd wave and say hello.
Yep.
So I love that. That was awesome.
And it wasn't, hello, hey, do you want to come get a drink? It just was, hey guys,
Yeah.
just I don't know if they were trying to get on camera. I don't know, but whatever. But I mean, it's and we didn't always have the camera running.
No, we didn't.
No.
No.
So overall, I would say the bar experience. There's different bars all around the ship.
A lot of
different
bars.
menus, different drinks. I would definitely give the offerings that this ship has a thumbs up for that. Okay. All right. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we just take a break from this? We're about halfway through.
Okay.
And say hello to some people.
Let's do it.
In fact, let's go back. Let's go back to faux balcony cam.
I
here.
like it.
What did we just do? We did the bars, so we're gonna do some activities. Let's go back to faux balcony cam because y'all hear it. We got the told you.
Love the sound of the ocean.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What do we have going on here? Charles,
right.
welcome, buddy. How are you doing, man? We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. And hello, right back at you. Lori, hello, hon. How are you tonight? Welcome. Patricia, yes, 502.
I like it.
502 and counting.
I like it.
Kathy P, happy Sunday to you as well.
Yes, happy Sunday.
And we hope you had a great day as well as everybody else. We did a little bit of working today. We actually had to pack the truck. So we are getting ready for the road. So
And
yeah.
thank you, Tyler and Blake and Alyssa, for the assistance.
Yes, yes. You know what I do need to do? I think it's probably a little bit loud. We'll just turn it down just a little bit. There we go. So, so we had to do a little bit of work today. It wasn't too bad, but we did get the truck loaded because in 4 days, the summer and fall season for us starts. So yes. Anyway, and Charles is like, waves. Everybody wave. You ready? Ready to do the wave? All right. I'm sorry. You guys are like, best sound ever.
Right?
Okay, fine.
I
I'll turn it back
agree.
up. We're going all the way. There you go.
No.
Full blast.
That's probably too loud.
You think?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
I was just going to keep it there for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Just anyway.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
good.
Oh, Pritchard's like, here, water. Now I need to tinkle.
Thanks for that.
Hello, Tuesday. How are you doing, love? Mamie Radar, welcome from New Mexico. I did remember you're from New Mexico. Glad that everybody's saying hello. Bev, hello. Mama Tall Man, hello. Ozan, welcome from Ukraine, Turkey. Hello there, buddy. And yes, hi. He's lots of greetings from him.
Yes.
Hello, Justina.
Hi.
Welcome. Bev's like, onion rings. I'd already seen that.
Yeah.
God, the onion rings are so good.
They were.
Oh, you had me at onion rings. Oh, good. Thank you, Tom Cruise. The movie escaped me. Tom Cruise line. What's the stinking movie? You had me at hello.
Oh,
Yeah, anyway. We're with you. We just can't remember the name.
yeah.
It wasn't the bar movie, was it?
No,
it was the
with
the
Cuba Gooding
sports.
Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me the money.
Yeah, it was that one,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
We're with you. It's mad cow.
Yeah, it's gonna drive me nuts.
Shub Tower. Me likes onion rings, Charles. You're gonna love these onion rings, man.
They're really
wow. Yep. Justina's like, I see people have onion soup and was wondering if it was really that good. Justina,
It is.
it is really that good.
Yeah.
I typically will have onion soup a couple times on the MSC ships because I really do like their, I don't want to call it their version of it, but how they make their onion soup. I didn't have it this time at all.
No.
Only because the other soups they were serving, typically in the 7-night cruise, there's a couple of nights where the soup it's like some sort of seafood something. I'm like, okay, perfect night for me to have the onion soup. And so that's what I do. And this particular cruise for the 4 days, I enjoyed, all the soups they had. They had, again, the fire roasted tomato the first night. They had minestrone one night.
They had the beans and chorizo
Yep,
soup.
and I can't remember the flavor. Anyway, I didn't get to have it this time. And I was like, oh, because I'm having 4 appetizers already. I can't have 2 soups, a salad, and 2 or 3 other things.
And he sat there and told me, he's like, man, I miss my French onion soup.
I know.
But I really want this one.
I know. It's so good. I mean, yes, they would bring it to me if I wanted, but then I wouldn't eat the dinner. And I hate wasting food. I mean, man, I hate wasting food. I got to clean my plate. It's just a thing. Anyway. Hello, Justina says she loves the sounds of the waves. Wait a minute.
Did we miss some?
Nope. Yeah, just back up a little bit.
Okay. Hey.
Hello, always good to see you too, and well as you, Mr. Tom. Hope you are well.
Yes.
She says, group cruise, no onion rings left after we find them. Fire up that fryer. All right, so again, hello everybody. We appreciate you. If it's the first time you're joining us, do us a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, become part of the Tall Man Clan. It is free to you, costs you absolutely nothing, and Lisa and I would sincerely appreciate it. And do us another favor, while you're at it, why don't you come join our Facebook group? It's also free. We post different things there than we do here on YouTube. And just make sure you answer the questions, okay? All right, so
there's only 2 of them. The first one is, what's the first ship you've been on? If you haven't sailed, just put none. That's fine.
Yep.
And then the other is, you're agreeing to be nice. So yes, you're agreeing to be nice to everybody.
the group rules.
Yes.
No spamming and be nice.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, I always hit the wrong button there. That's there we go. That's my email. If you want to email me, that's my email. All right, let's get back to the review, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Activities. So, in the course of our MSC experience, we started with the seaside, and then we did the seashore, then we did the seascape, and now we have done the Magnifica.
Yes.
And we have been very vocal in telling you, well, thank you, by the way. We have enjoyed all of them. So the Magnifica has just recently brought on Jerry Maguire. Thank you, Bev.
Yes,
Jerry Maguire.
That's it.
Yeah.
Good job.
MSC has recently just hired the Dr. Reverend E, who used to be one of the best/better Carnival cruise directors.
Yes.
And he has brought that experience to the MSC Magnifica. And I got to tell you, it was a blast.
It really was.
It was really fun. Outside of maybe the extra 5 minutes he would rant on sometimes, or the 30 seconds worth of singing first thing in the morning. He does like to sing.
He does like to sing good morning.
And I will also add this. Because of his presence and his energy that he brought, this is the first 4-day cruise I've ever been on that I actually enjoyed.
Agreed.
And it's because of him and the activities that he has brought to this ship. And I have great expectations for how the rest of the ships that are based here in the U.S. continue to evolve. And so the activities on this ship, if you're a Carnival fan, man, you're going to be right at home. I mean, I don't, actually, Carnival or Royal, a lot of their activities are very close to the same. Maybe their sail away parties might be a little bit different, but that sort of high level of engagement in party, it was there.
There's a really good energy on the ship. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Everybody was pleasant and motivated.
Yep.
You didn't have a lot of people just kind of like walking around, putzing around.
Well,
They were.
Y'all saw the video. If you haven't seen the videos, go back to day one where we showed decks 5, 6, and 7. The highlights of that video, which start right at the front of it was it was Carnival packed.
It was.
And it was standing room only. It's the first MSC ship we've been on where the sail away party was standing room only.
That's true. That is true. The Seashore, I believe it was.
That was the first one we went on.
Yeah, and I was amazed at how many people were on there because the first ship that we were on, the Seashore.
The Seaside was the first one we were on.
Okay.
The Seashore, we did a back-to-back, a 3-day, 4-day.
Yes.
And we didn't see the 3-day, we saw the 4-day.
Yes.
And then the Seascape was 7-day, 7-day.
Okay.
Okay?
I believe it was the Seashore then.
Okay.
Yeah, the second ship that we were on.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
the
remember.
sail away party was you didn't go. I did. And the sail away party I thought was, good because up until, with the exception of Carnival, Carnival's sail away parties are always amazing.
Amazing.
But, all of the other ships that we've been on, the Royals and the first MSC that we were on, the sail away was pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
They were playing some music, but there's nobody out there. Everybody's doing their own thing. But the second MSC ship that we were on, they actually had a good crowd going out there.
Yep.
And I was impressed because that's the most activity I've seen for a sail away party other than Carnival. But this one, wow,
Yep.
it was.
So you got the sail away party, you got your Caribbean party and your white party, and for the longer cruises, there's 80s night, all the standard stuff, love and marriage, and
They've got the silent
dance
disco
classes
party
and silent
and-
disco.
Yeah.
Plethora of activities. Same thing for the kids. We profiled the kids area last night. The kids area on the ship is very, very small. It's one of the smallest kids areas I've ever seen. However,
I think it is the smallest kids area
could
we've
be.
ever seen.
but what they do is they take the kids and they bring them to another location, right? And use other areas of the ship that are more expensive for their activities with the kids. Because there are like 532 kids on the ship with us.
Yeah,
And
and
not so bad.
there's several lounge areas
Yeah.
that they're closed during the day, and
Yeah.
so they can bring the kids there and
Yeah.
let them have a dance party and do all kinds of fun things.
Now, mind you, this was one of those port-rich sailings, 4 days. We were somewhere every day, and there wasn't a lot of kids in the kids area to begin with. They were with their parents off the ship in either Ocean Key or in Bahamas, in Nassau.
Yeah,
right?
very true.
Because we, one day at lunch at the buffet, the kids were there, and it wasn't but, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 kids with the camp counselor, right?
I will say, for having that many kids on board, I didn't notice a whole lot of kids. I really didn't.
I noticed them
they
more
were
at night.
there.
I noticed them more at night.
Yeah.
Not the older, like the 15s and up. They were running around. I saw them more at night. So, but overall, activities. Again, I found them fantastic on the ship.
Yeah, me as well.
Yep. Especially Dr. Reverend E. Shout out. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. Okay, entertainment. My favorite subject. For me, this comes with a mixed bag. We'll start with the production shows. There were, again, this was a 4-night cruise. They actually had 3 separate production shows. So first of all, shout out for doing 3 production shows on a ship on a 4-day cruise. I mean, you usually don't get that. So there's that. 2, their shows are typically much shorter than other cruise line shows.
Yes, they
Okay.
are. 45 minutes.
Not even. Not even. Anyway, I'll get there in a minute. So, the first two that we saw, I was not impressed at all. From an entertainer, right? I didn't. I just wasn't impressed.
I enjoyed them.
She did, right? From the non-entertainer side. For you guys watching, if you're an entertainer, you probably aren't going to like it like me. But for the layman, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but you guys will enjoy it. Like the first one was called, Rock of Ages. It basically, they're just singing rock songs with some choreography. And
Yeah.
it's all the songs that we...
Lip syncing with costumes, with great costumes.
Yeah, that we grew up with.
A little bit of dancing.
Right?
Yeah.
So, that's fun, right? You
I
recognize
enjoyed
the
it.
songs, and as long as the vocalists are good and the dancing's good, not in my opinion, but that's at least the choreography was. Smaller cast on the ship, 4 female dancers, 2 male dancers. That's it. They do sometimes augment them with, I think, just other crew members that come out and hang out or whatever. At least that was for the first 2 shows. The third show is a new show. This one is fantastic. On my feet clapping.
He
which
was one of the first ones up.
never happens.
Never.
And mostly because there was little singing and little dancing. It was, again, called Circus something or other. There was a bunch of other performers. There was a juggler who did some really neat things. There was a guy unicycle doing some really neat things. There's some skaters doing some really neat things. And then they had like the Cirque du Soleil trampoline guys going on and off of like a faux building inside of windows and around. Those guys were
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That was really well done. Back to the short. The show was 23, 24 minutes long, 25 minutes, something, tops, in and out. So a little disappointed that it was so short, but it was so good I didn't care. Okay? So, yes, fantastic that last show. The other 2, not so much. The good news is, I think they're working on it.
Oh, I
So,
totally agree.
If they're working on it, maybe the other 2 get replaced with something better. So, there's that. Atmospheric entertainers, we've always enjoyed on MSC, from the solos, the duos, whatever it is. Whether it's a guitar player, whether there was a piano player down in the main bar.
He was
I
good.
mean, the atrium. He was great.
Yeah.
There was a duo that was playing. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a band. I never got to see them, and I feel bad. So I can't comment on the band. The DJ that was on the ship, loved him. I'm not the biggest fan of DJs. Not that I dislike them. I just, you're playing the wobble and you play. I mean, they're all playing the same crap. But most of these guys, they got the volume at 27. It's well past 10. I mean, everything is distorted. It sounds horrible. This guy had the mix right where it needed to be, at least from what he was sending out. I'm not picking on the engineers, right, the sound guys, because they have it dialed up. But if the person sending the signal to the speakers is, it doesn't matter what the audio engineers do, it's going to be distorted. And there's a lot of DJs that play everything distorted. This guy was really good. In fact, I walked up and shot him, and he made I like this guy. Didn't even get his name, but DJ was good. So, mixed bag for me. I would give it a thumbs up, because I feel you guys out there in YouTube land will have a fantastic time with the entertainment on the ship. Okay, so
Thumbs up for me.
okay, so that is a thumbs up for both of us. All right, shall we move on?
Let's do it.
Let's move on. Customer service. Okay, so we went down to customer service a few times, and our engagement with customer service on all the ships, but I know we're just talking about the Magnifica, but we've never had a customer service problem.
No.
When we've had a problem, we walk up and they solve the problem. Now, mind you, they're not life-threatening type problems, right? they're not horrible things. Like, I'll give you an example. If you were watching our stream the other night, you will recognize this conversation. If you didn't join us, that's okay. I'm going to tell it now. Our cabin, we had an accessible cabin. We didn't ask for it. It's just what they gave us. We're like, okay, this is great. Was probably, excuse me, it was the loudest cabin we've ever been in. It was brutal. During the daytime, you are not getting any rest or taking a nap in that cabin during the day.
It sounded like a washing machine in there.
And if it wasn't a washing machine, it was pounding because they were hammering crap somewhere down. It was right next to a crew door, which was an access stairwell, and all the sound was reverberating up the stairwell. You heard it all. Also, there was a closet in that access that was housed all the pump equipment for the hot tubs that were in the spa above us. The spa had a couple hot tubs. I didn't know, but we're right underneath it. And so we just heard that equipment running all day long, plus all the pounding. And
yeah, that was the washing machine effect.
Anyway.
During the night, it was quiet. But during the day, when we were trying to nap, because our schedules when we were on a cruise ship are really...
Right. Anyway, so some people would have gone down to customer service and said, I want a new cabin. This is horrible. Okay? Now, again, the noise was just during the day. It wasn't at night. It was okay. We're rarely in the cabin during the day anyway, other than the hour and a half that we're trying to take a nap because we're, up all night long videoing for you guys. But we didn't do that. So we didn't have major problems. Now, we see and read a lot of complaints about not just MSC customer service, but a lot of customer service. And the complaints are typically because the person with the issue doesn't get their way. And then they complain about it that they didn't get their way. Okay? So cruise lines have a set of rules. And there might be a little gray area, but generally speaking, there's a set of rules. And if what you're asking for is outside the realm of the rules, they're going to say no or can't accommodate, right? If there's a show that gets canceled because someone's sick, they're not going to compensate you. If it's raining and we got to miss a port, they're not going to compensate you. They're not going to, right? So when we read the comments about how pissed off people are a lot of times about customer service, it's because they're asking for things they truly probably shouldn't ask for to begin with. So we've gone up. We had problems with our key cards. They fixed it instantly. We've talked to them about dining stuff before, not just customer service, but other things. They fixed it. We've talked to them about internet thing. I'm not going to say they fixed it. They increased the speed, but they respond, right? So I don't know how else to rate customer service other than I feel they're doing a fantastic job.
I agree. And I've never had anybody that was rude to me at customer service. When we go down and talk, they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that," and let's see what we can do.
Yeah. And the guy we had this time was great.
Yeah.
He was funny.
Yeah,
I was
we
like,
were joking around with him.
We did. I walked up and I'm like, one of the things they did was our key cards were the wrong color. They had us as blues or whatever, which is first time sailors. And obviously this is not our first time on MSC. So we went down to get that corrected. Not because we're entitled, but we wanted to make sure that the fact our status in the things that we're getting credit for stuff.
Yeah,
that's
we just
what
wanted
it was.
to make sure we got the credit for the sailing.
That's what it was. So anyway,
we were like, if you want us to keep a blue key, we're fine with that. We don't care.
Just want to make sure
it is.
Just want to make sure it's all worked out right.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I said jokingly, I'm like, you know what? My key cards are the wrong color. I want a suite now. And I just said, kind of funny. He just laughed. I said, no, I'm kidding. He goes, I know you are, but and he's like, no, that's something that would happen. Because we're kind of numb now. Anyway, so overall, customer service was great, guys. Be nice, be respectful, even if it is more of a crappy thing to have to go talk to them about. If you had the cabin like we did and you're truly a daytime sleeper, go and, take them back to the cabin. Hey, look, really, come with me. I need you to hear this. We have to do something here. Because I'm sure they always keep, even if they're sold out, there may be a few that they hold. But going down there and going, "Rah!" a lot of times they're just going to be,
Yeah, that's going to get you nowhere.
right? Maybe a little bit of sugar. And maybe that's why they're so nice to us, why we never seem to have problems with
Yeah, maybe so.
customer service, because we
Yeah.
go down there and we're just nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Overall, again, thumbs up for customer service, y'all. I think we already did that. So, all right, let's move on. The ship. Okay, so this was the smallest ship we've been on in 20 years. The ship was 95,000 tons. Again, holds somewhere around 32 to 3,400 people. Built 14 years ago, just refurbished in 2021 or something like that. 2019, 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. I can go look it up, but just recently refurbished within the last 3-4 years. I know Lisa had a few issues with some of the color coordination. Sometimes this will happen with refurbishment. I would notice this. There were a couple of different shades of carpet that were supposed to be the same. This happened actually once at the Marriott when you worked the Marriott. Remember all that carpet we got for like nothing?
Yeah.
When it came in, it was the wrong color.
Yeah.
And of course, these guys just put down the wrong color. So there's a couple of areas that butt up that are going to be like, okay, well, that color just doesn't match.
For me, it's all of the. First, let me say,
Excuse
the
me.
ship in itself, I think, is in great shape.
Yes.
The public areas are beautiful.
Yes.
They really are. Not a whole lot of wear and tear. Everything is in really good shape.
Yes.
So I didn't notice anything that needed to be, oh well, that looks, that is all worn out. It needs to go away. I didn't see any of that.
Sorry about that, people. Hang on. I'm just. Nope. Just keep on talking, Lisa.
Okay. For me, my sense of color coordination, I didn't like the choice of carpet in the passenger cabin decks. The rooms and the public spaces were great, but when you're walking in that hallway, once you leave the elevators and you go down that hallway to get into your cabin, to me, they clashed. And I didn't like it.
Okay, so
I will tell you that.
Let's give them. We're going to give them a taste.
All right.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. Today we are on the MSC Magnifica. We're on deck 9. Now this is a deck that is full of cabins. So we're about to show you where your cabin is in relationship to stairs and elevators. There's a bunch of them on this ship, okay? And we are starting here at the very front of the ship. Now, we're going to stay to the right. Now, if you've never seen us do one of these videos, I can't turn the camera for you to see every cabin. If I did, you'd get seasick. So use my finger. Now that one was blue. Okay.
Yep.
Hang on. We're going to go back. Hang on, guys. I'm doing this on the fly. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. Today we are on the MSC Magnifica. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are on the MSC Magnifica. We're on deck 12, which as you can see from the map is a full passenger deck. Happens to be the deck that we're staying on as well. We're going to show you where your cabin is in relationship to the stairs and elevators. Now, if you've never seen us do one of these. Muted, Lisa. Sorry, it was muted. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, okay.
Say it again.
So their choice of carpet in the passenger cabin decks that you're looking at now, I thought it clashed with the artwork that they had on the walls. It didn't match the passenger, the elevator banks. And that just, it's not that it was in bad shape, it was in great shape.
Yeah.
It just clashed. And so I just, felt like I needed to point that out because to me, I thought they could have definitely done a better job with matching the colors in the passenger cabin decks.
Okay. All right. So there's just a little taste. We release the passenger cabins next couple of weeks or so, passenger cabin decks. But I won't at least play a little bit so you can understand what she was talking about.
And that's what I'm talking about. Once you get into the cabins I think were all beautiful. I just didn't like that carpet in the hallways.
So overall, the ship, I enjoyed the ship. There was a few things that were confusing to me, and it took me. It was a 4-day cruise, but it took me 2 days to get used to it. For a small ship, this actually had 4 elevator shafts.
It did.
Which is a great thing because they're trying to spread people out. And so the 2 main elevator shafts were forward and aft. And there was 4 elevators in each of those elevator shafts. Then the 2 sort of mid ones, was it 3? It was 2 or 3 elevators in each of those. There wasn't an elevator problem one time.
No, I agree.
I don't think there was even embark day, any of the days, did we ever have to go, okay, we got to walk?
Yeah, I agree.
If we were waiting for an elevator.
The elevators, the way that they were spaced out, it was awesome. There was never any issues moving around in the elevators. Never. Not even the day one, not even the last day.
No. But that being said, the elevators didn't always all go to the same place. Those 2 middle ones don't go all the way up. They stop around, I think, 12.
Deck 12.
Deck 12. One of them went up, but the other didn't. And so the elevators could be a little bit confusing. So just know that going in. Outside of that, I absolutely loved the layout of this ship.
I did as well. I didn't have any issues moving around in that ship. Not one. Everything was easy to find. The flow, with the exception of in the buffet area, there was plenty of space to get around.
Yep.
In the buffet area, again, they were a little skinny, the hallways, but everywhere else, there were plenty of pass-throughs to get from one side of the ship to the other. And the flow was just really nice, I thought.
Yeah, I agree.
And everything looked really good, really well taken care of.
There are some nice quiet areas. There was 2 rooms in specific. There was one called the poker room, which is where we tried to stream from. Very quiet.
Yes.
And then there was another room called the card room. They had a couple chess games in there, and that was also always a very quiet space. There are some neat, what I call hidden spaces on the ship. They're at the back on the passenger decks. There's these on left and right, a couple of hidden, like, balconies, if you will, but pretty generous. So if you just want to catch some views, go out the back of deck 12. There's one in the center, and then left and right.
Yeah, there's no chairs out there, but it's just a really nice spot
to
just
hang
to
out
go
and
look at the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and
very
quiet.
Nice. Yeah.
Right. So let's see. The shops were all nice.
Oh, the shops were great.
Yep.
Yeah. I think those were probably the best looking and best stocked shops that I have seen on any ship. And I was surprised because the ship is so small, but they had a lot more things than I've seen on other ships.
And it wasn't because they had an overabundance of shops. They were just well stocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had just a huge selection of things, I thought.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. So definitely we're giving this particular ship thumbs up. Magnifica. Enjoyed the heck out of it, really.
Yeah.
So ready for the last?
Let's do
thing?
it.
Overall experience. Well, if you haven't figured it out by all the thumbs up we've given with the other 9, the overall experience was absolutely fantastic. As we mentioned a few subjects ago, at least I mentioned, I am not fond at all of 4-day cruises. Don't like them. Not enough time for me. You know, just by the time you just get relaxed, it's time to pack and get off the ship. I didn't have that experience in this ship. I enjoyed the heck out of it.
Yeah, I did as well. Yeah.
Yep. So absolutely fantastic. If you're looking for a 3-day, 4-day getaway, absolutely I would go on this ship again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would as well.
As long as Dr. Reverend E is on there, because that is the energy
I do
that he brings.
I do feel that all that great energy was because of his presence. I really do.
I agree. Now, I think there's a couple other things that we should enter into the overall experience. And this is something we talked about when we went on the Seascape. Now, mind you, the Seascape and the Magnifica both sail out of Miami. Okay. Now, the Seascape is doing 7-day cruises, though. And they're basically doing an eastern, western, eastern, western, eastern, western. Okay. And when it's doing western, the Seascape, it seemed to have a mostly European passenger manifest. When it was doing eastern, where it goes to Puerto Rico, it seemed to have a 90% or 95%, whatever, American / very heavy Hispanic passenger manifest. In fact, when we were in Puerto Rico, man, there was like no one on the ship. We're walking around going, did everybody get like abducted or something?
It was
so
deserted,
quiet.
yeah.
But we were also there till like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
We were, but that's probably the most empty I've ever seen a ship at
Right.
a port.
So I think the point that I'm trying to make is because they're 7-day cruises, people are flying in from overseas and there's different experiences. The Magnifica is doing 3-day, 4-day cruises. I can't imagine someone from Europe is going to get on a plane, fly over here for a 3 or 4 day cruise, and then fly back.
I would agree.
Now, maybe they fly over and do a back-to-back. Maybe. But we can tell you that the during this 4-day cruise, this was mostly filled with people from around the United States. In fact, at one of the shows when Dr. E was, hey, where's everybody from? I was shocked at how many people were not from Florida. Really, because I thought it was just going to be really very heavy Florida. Man, it was from all over, in Baltimore and Ohio and Oklahoma and Atlanta and just all over the country.
Yeah.
I was shocked. And so, we had a fantastic time. So I would highly recommend, if you're looking for a quick getaway, to try the Magnifica.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I would agree. And the mix of passengers, I mean, it was, old to young to old. I mean, there was a huge variety of passengers. It wasn't, you couldn't just say, oh, well, that was, all young people or all old people. There was a really good mix there.
And it was a heck of a party, but not a drunken bash party.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
We hear a lot of people talk about 3-day, 4-day cruises on Carnival. Again, not there's anything wrong with this, guys. It's all good. But that a lot of it is just a drunk fest.
And this was not.
This was not.
This was just people having a good time.
Yeah.
It really was.
I only saw a couple of people wobbling. I don't mean the dance to wobble, but I mean, hey, man. No, it's okay. Move along, sir. But no, it was great. So, yeah, definitely thumbs up for me.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so there you have it. Go back to balcony camp. Oh, I didn't put the music in this one.
Oh, we got to have the ocean sound.
Yeah, put that in there.
Here we go. Like that.
Turn it down a little bit there. Let me loop it.
All right.
It was looped. Okay, we have that.
Do
Okay,
we have
good.
some comments to look at?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
That's why I went to balcony camp. So hopefully you guys did like the review. We're up here in this corner here. We'll move you down. And if you're thinking about trying MSC, this helps you guys out. All right?
Yeah.
So let's see what you all have to say. Let's back up a little bit.
All right.
Jerry McGuire. There you go. Kathy P. Do you usually get off the ship and roam around or do an excursion at every port? Or does it really just depend? Kathy,
Totally depends.
yeah, I would think it. There is some depending. Recently, we haven't done a lot of excursions at all whatsoever. We have taken so many cruises, and they're mostly all Caribbean cruises. We've been to these ports so many times that we just don't do the excursions anymore. So we will get off and roam around. That being said, on this particular cruise, we didn't get off once. Well, she got off once for about 5 minutes to get a couple pictures of the ship to get right back on. I actually didn't get off one time. I mean, on the ship in Miami, off the ship in Miami.
That is true.
This was a let's video like nuts kind of cruise for us.
Yes, it was.
Now, that being said, we're hoping with our next set of cruises that we do that in each port we go to, we're going to pick an excursion and go on it. If not this next set, it's soon. We want to get back into doing some more excursions, not just to go off the ship and have some fun, but to also bring that experience to you, because I know, like yourself, Kathy, others have questions. By the way, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Become part of the Tall Man Clan. It is free to you. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it really does help out the channel. And Lisa and I sincerely appreciate it. We really do.
Yes, we do.
Right? Means a lot to us. Okay? So, yeah. We've been roamers for this past year. Actually, for post-COVID, we've just been roamers. And I'll also say, some of this has to do with the state of some of the islands when it comes to security. A lot of the Caribbean islands are not as friendly as they used to be, if you will. There's a lot of crime, elevated security levels from the U.S. State Department. And so walking off the ship, walking out the port, hailing a taxi, and sometimes you're just taking your life in your hands now. Oddly enough, that's what we used to do a lot.
We did.
We would get off the ship and we would go make our own excursion.
We did that frequently.
Yes. And just because we feel it's just a whole different experience doing that. You see more of the local culture. You just make your own thing. In fact, the people we ate dinner with, Robert and Lena. Lena. That's what they did. They actually rented scooters.
They did.
And they
yes.
and they drove scooters around the Bahamas.
Yes.
And just absolutely had a fantastic time. They had a couple places they wanted to go to. They went and then did a few other things they talked about, and they absolutely had a fantastic time. So that's what we normally used to do, stuff like that. And since a lot of the places we go to, like Jamaica, I'm not getting out of the port unless I'm going on a cruise ship excursion. And a couple of the other places. Belize these days is a little rough. It comes and goes. Cozumel, oddly enough, there's a lot of cartel activity going on. There's been a couple of shootings in the restaurants just right outside the ship, right outside the port. We just roam. We get out and we roam around the port. That's what we've done, because most of what we've been trying to do is capture the ships for you guys, and it does take a long time. So, but Kathy, we'll get back to it. Macrina, welcome. Better late than ever. Good to see you, hon.
Hey, Macrina.
Welcome. And hopefully you enjoyed your nap. You can certainly catch more flies with honey. I believe so.
Yeah.
Kathy, 100%. Anybody in customer service will tell you that. If somebody comes to you and they're like, well, that's what they're going to get back, right? If they come to you and say, hey, if it's within their means to help, they will help. But if you come at them just rude and disrespectful, then you get rude and disrespectful back. It's just not that hard. D. Seamstress.
Well, hello.
Seamstress. How are you? Welcome. I don't remember seeing you comment here before. You get an applause.
Yes.
Welcome to the Tall Man Clan. We just talked about that a little bit ago. You can go back and watch, but in short, production shows, first two, I think sucked.
I liked them.
I'm an entertainer, so I'm going to judge them a lot more harshly than somebody else. Someone who knows nothing about entertainment, but just, you're probably going to like them.
Yeah.
The third show they did, fantastic. Standing ovation.
Yeah.
Really fantastic.
Yeah,
So.
he never or rarely gives a standing ovation to anybody. He was the first on his feet for that last show.
Only time I'm out of my seat is to leave the theater.
Right.
Not this time. They deserved it. They did fantastic. Really.
Yeah.
Anyway, no audio. You're muted. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry. Kathy's like, but everyone, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, don't forget to hit that like button.
Thank you, Kathy.
Hello, Ashley. Going in super late, but I'm here now. Yes, welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Same as you. Better late than ever. We welcome you all. Your screen froze. Oh no.
Oh.
Karina's you just got it 5 minutes ago. Did you loyalty match? Absolutely, we did. So for those who don't know, MSC does a loyalty match. Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever just did that.
Thank you.
So the cruise line that we had cruised on the most is Carnival, and so we have a platinum status with Carnival. So when we went on our first cruise with MSC, we did our research. Let me rephrase that word. I didn't watch any YouTube videos. We've heard at least the complaints from people, but I didn't want to go in knowing. I didn't want to know much other than what people told us. I didn't want to watch videos. So we went on completely
blind.
right?
Yeah.
So we got the experience firsthand, right? Didn't want to have my brain being already
Expecting things, yeah.
prejudgmental of it.
Yes.
However, we knew they status match. So you just go online, type MSC status match. It'll show you where the site is. It takes you there. Once you're booked on an MSC cruise, put in your booking number, then you put in your loyalty number for whatever cruise line you have the highest level of course.
I think it's hotels as well, isn't it? Hotels.
I'm not sure if it's hotels as well. It gives you
Somebody-
the layout
somebody
when you
does
do that.
hotels, yeah.
And anyway, you hit enter. It's pretty quick and easy. And then it usually takes 5-ish days, and then all of a sudden you'll get an email saying, "Hey, your status matched, and and your level is this." So we started off as gold on MSC, which is their. They have 4 levels, so it's their third up, right? There's only one more. Again, I think they call it diamond. And so, but we started off this cruise, I think it's 7,900 points. 9,900, you then turn into diamond, or again, I think it's diamond or whatever it is. And so we're getting close to that status. I know you're probably new here, or at least new to commenting here. We've never been much about the whole loyalty and status and this, that, or whatever. It's just never been a big thing for us. So we honestly just have never really much paid attention to the particular loyalty programs and all the different things they offer. But that is going to change. But we did do the loyalty. In fact, I don't have the key cards here. So we're currently gold with MSC. The one big thing that they do offer that I appreciate the most at our level is when you're booking directly with MSC at the gold level, you get a 5% discount.
I think that's awesome.
I do too. And I think when you hit their highest, I think it's 10%.
That's awesome.
We're going to dig in. We're going to actually do a whole video about loyalty.
And when you
programs.
status match with MSC,
Oh, excuse me.
you don't you build from whatever level you come in at, so you don't have to wait until you catch up. You start building right away. So that's another really nice thing about their status match.
Yeah, correct. If that didn't make any sense to you, so again, I use the points, right? And I don't have the chart to throw up here, or I would. So, 0 to 2,500 is blue, and 2,500 to 5,000 is pink. Again, I don't know. 5,000 to 10,000 is gold, and 10,000 up is diamond, or whatever it is. Okay, and what Lisa was sort of explaining is when we came in at gold, and so we're already statused, and so every cruise that we take, where our point level is moving up from where we started. So if we started at 5,000 points after the first cruise, if it was a 7-day cruise, I think we get 700 more points. So after that, we're 5,700, as opposed to staying at 5,000 until your points catch up from the beginning.
Yes.
So I like that.
Yes.
So that's why we're going to be able to be diamond or whatever their highest level is, like fairly 3 more cruises on MSC, and we'll be at their top tier.
Yeah.
So, which again, we just whatever.
I do wish that other cruise lines did that as well, because I think they would probably get a lot more people going onto their ships.
Yeah, I mean, Royal just is sharing with Celebrity now,
Yeah,
right?
they just
so
started that.
they do their thing.
Yeah.
The Carnival Corporation, I don't know why they do that. There's a lot of corporate money loss when it comes to loyalty stuff. At least that's how they look at it, right? It costs money for them to give you a gift. It costs money for them to make you a cocktail. It costs them money to do your laundry. I mean, there's every level at the loyalty there's a cost loss for the corporation associated with whatever perk you get. Right? The chocolate covered strawberries. Okay, the strawberries cost them something, the chocolate cost them something, and the time that the person takes it from there to there costs them something. It does. However, there's a loyalty program there for a reason. To show appreciation for the loyalty that these particular passengers have given these specific cruise lines for years. So it's a rough thing, right? And I mean, I did some rough numbers on this, like with Carnival. Forget the changes that they made to the loyalty program, but the biggest change is some of the things that used to just happen, you now have to make happen. For instance, when you go on Carnival, the chocolate covered strawberries used to just show up.
Yes.
Your water used to be in the cabin waiting for you. Your gift used to be brought to your cabin, okay? All of those three things right there, you have to call, or you physically make the trip to go get it. You got to go to a bar to get your water, and you got to go to the photo area, Pixels, to get your gift. And you have to call to get your chocolate covered strawberries.
Yes.
Anyway, the reason they did this, there's a percentage of people that won't make the call, that won't make the trip to the bar or the trip to Pixels. And so instead of, they may save themselves 20%, is I think what I'm trying to say. Because it would be 20% of the people that don't go and get those things. And over the course of the year, and again, I ran all the numbers with all their berths and the estimated cost of these things, they're going to save themselves about $1 million a year by just changing the fact that those three things are not just left in the cabin.
Yeah.
I have the note somewhere, but it was like $1 million.
It is, and that's a considerable amount.
It's a considerable dollar amount, right? So, and that's why they keep on changing the programs. More and more people are cruising, and so there's more and more people at the platinum level, and they get to the diamond levels, or the pinnacle levels, and all these things, which means the cruise line's losing more money. The more people that get up, so what do? They water the programs down, so there's less to offer. That's why we've never put too much into the loyalty programs, because I'm just, we're going to go and have fun regardless.
Absolutely.
Right? So, would it be nice that if all the cruise lines would give us a bag or two of free laundry? Absolutely. We'd love it. But that's just not the case.
No, it's not.
It's not. So, anyway. Justina was asking if she's the only person that had a frozen screen, and the answer is yes. Seems to be working for everybody else. Just refresh it. I'm sure you've already figured it out, but it's working fine now. Okay. Same here. Awesome. D Seamstress. We have gone on all MSCs. Love them all except Meraviglia. Just not an exciting ship. Everything was in Center Hall area. Okay. All right. Great. 40 plus cruises for us. Yeah, we're somewhere in there.
Yeah.
We stopped counting a long time ago, but we're somewhere north of 40.
We were looking at the Meraviglia, and
Yeah.
we have not been on her yet. So, that's one of the things too that we've heard from other people, that they didn't care for the Meraviglia.
Yeah, D Seamstress, if you're still with us, was it about the ship? You didn't like the layout of the ship, or was it more? If you could expand a little bit, because this has been a big topic for us, that we feel, MSC is really pushing hard into the U.S. market, and they are making leaps and bounds of turning their European style cruising, if you will, that's all they're used to be more Americanized. Again, bringing in Carnival cruise directors. They're changing their shows. They've changed their food. They've upgraded their customer service. And it's a work in progress. I mean, we literally can see this from our first cruise with them was November last year. And between November last year and now, we've done 6 cruises
And we can
with MSC.
visibly see a difference every time we sail.
Yeah.
We notice a difference.
So
that they're improving.
I'd like to know your thoughts about the Meraviglia. Is it, again, activities, cruise director, food, service, or is the ship just a crappy ship? Because look, let's be honest, some ships are designed and they're just not good designs.
Yeah.
They're what they are.
Yeah.
So anyway, let us know. Do they calculate their points, money spent, days at sea, etc.? What perks does Gold versus Carnival? Like I said, Macrina, we're digging in. Literally, we've got notes. We've started taking them on loyalty programs, and we'll show you the differences between all the in a different video. I don't have enough in my brain to be able to spout it off now. But their points, like if it's a 7 to 9 day cruise, you get like 700 points. If it's a 4-day cruise, I think you get. It's just a chunk, right? It's not a day. It's a point system. And again, I don't even have 3 screens that I can look it up for you, or I would look it up right now. But we'll dig in. We'll get and we'll put a video together, and you can see. Okay. D says, were they enforcing the no plastic bottles at all? I can't say yes or no.
I didn't notice any plastic bottles, but that doesn't mean that they weren't allowed.
We didn't try to bring on any water with us.
No, we didn't.
We had a can of Coke with us. I did see a couple of bottles of water laying around, as we walked around the ship. I think a lot of what it comes down to is a lot of the cruise lines, it's not necessarily the plastic bottle, it's the single-use plastic bottle, the small ones. Like when you go to the bar, like on Carnival, they got like the liter size waters.
Yeah, it's big.
And so I think that's what they're going to, is these larger bottles of water. But I don't. I saw a lot of people carrying around their own jugs, filling them up, at the stations and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe we'll try to smuggle on a bottle of water and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't 100% say one way or the other.
Yeah, I can't either.
Chris says Royal's not watering their loyalty down, Robert. I'm not speaking about anyone in particular, Chris. It's just, in general, if you go back 12 years ago, I promise you Royal's program is different today than it was then. Are they changing it tomorrow? I don't know. But, all the programs used to be a lot different. And as the cruise industry has grown, they've changed them. They've just moved the target. That's what they've done, right? It used to be like you'd have to do this much and you would, advance up and there would be this many things. Well, now you got to do this to advance, and then there's that much change in the program, right? So, but again, like I said, Chris, we're going to be digging into the loyalty programs and see if we can figure out and find information about the past to the present, what they used to be and what they are, and what they all mean. So there you go. Anyway, the ship's layout was very boring. Okay, all right, awesome.
Gotcha.
Yeah, at some point, I'm sure we'll get on the Meraviglia. We have to do it. It's we need to do it to cover it for the channel, and get all the cabins and everything that we do for reviews and stuff. But we appreciate the opinions, and
Yeah.
you too, as Chris. And,
Absolutely.
So, I mostly like priority boarding and laundry from loyalty programs. Absolutely.
I love the free laundry from Carnival.
Yeah.
I love it. But, it's not a make or break thing.
So again, you go and check in, and then normally you go and sit down and you wait for your numbers to be called and things like that. And a lot of times there's 2 entry points, right? If you're in a loyalty area, sometimes you're going in one way, where general population, if you will, those who are not at that level, are going another way. There's been a couple occasions where they've called for the loyalty program and the people were in a line starting, and then they called for the people who have never sailed before, right, number 1 or whatever, to go, and there was no line there yet, and they were getting on before the preferred people.
Yes.
And you should have heard the preferred. I mean, they were just what? I mean, they were
That
screaming.
happened on the Jubilee.
It did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously we enjoy priority boarding. We want to get on the ship as soon as possible to make the most of our day, but also for what we do for our YouTube channel. The earlier we get on there, the more likelihood is we can get more cabins for you guys. Because at some point, there's going to be a passenger in the cabin. And so we want to get there and get the cabins videoed before they occupy the cabins, obviously. So, Macrina says, Johnny Hild said the mints no longer left on pillows at night paid for the addition of Guy's Burgers to the fleet. So it's working benefits. It's working benefits. Yeah, not just a profit for the pockets of management. Yeah, crappy ship. Yeah. Like, that's a perfect point, right? I mean, a mint has a cost, right? Times 7 nights, times however many cabins. I mean, that is a lot of money spent in mints.
Yeah, it really is.
And not for nothing, the way cruising is going, there was going to be a Guy's Burger one way or the other.
I totally agree, and so I don't know how I feel about that statement that the mints paid for having a Guy's Burger, because I think they were headed that way anyway.
Yeah, I love John. No, we've spoken very highly of him. We're friends with him. I love John to death, but I think that's a little
that may be a stretch.
Bearded lip service, the beards, right? Yeah, they've got Guy's Burgers, they've got Shack's chicken and stuff. And now Guy's got the barbecue joint.
Yes.
Right? It's all Guy's stuff.
Yeah,
so,
Pig and Anchor.
Yeah. So, no. They're just trying to save money. Why don't they have butter chips anymore? They're trying to save money. Why don't they do bacon every day like they used to? They're trying to save money. So, it's all about the dollar. You know, why do they make you go get these things? Because 20% of the people are not going to do it, which means they save money. Why are they moving Costa ships and all these other ships in there and created the Italian fun style? Why? Because the ships were already built. Cost them very little to convert them, and now they have more ships in their fleet. It's all about the dollar. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Corporations are there to make money, and they're a public corporation. They're publicly traded. Their mandate, make a profit for their shareholders.
Yes, they are legally obliged to do that, and if they don't do that, well, they're breaking the law. So they've got to make money for their shareholders.
Yeah. Anyway, on Carnival, I value my laundry. Also, I like the priority and free drink. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You know, we don't drink really, but when we go to one of the parties, which honestly we don't always go to them, but when we do, we'll grab one. We'll share it. Sometimes we each get one. And
sometimes we just get the fruit punch too.
Fruit punch too, yeah. So, also the priority line at guest service is nice too. Yeah, I would say that.
That is nice.
Except for inaugural cruises. Don't go on an inaugural cruise if you're a platinum or a diamond, because the reality is everything for you will be 14 times longer than it normally will be, because 70% of the ship is going to be platinums and diamonds, and so the shorter line is the blues and the golds or whatever.
Yes.
Right? It's funny. In fact, we went on like
totally reversed.
We're just gonna come over there, tuck my key in my thing, and just go stand in the line. Chris says, but what is crazy? You remember the mints, right? You do. You remember them. It's the small touches that make cruising so special. That's one thing Disney still does, and twice a day room service to your room. Yep. We have a video coming out soon that literally talks exactly that same thing, Chris. Hopefully it'll be out in the next week or two. It's the small things, right? The mints. It's such a little thing, but again, you add it up, right? 2 pillows, 2 mints, times 2,000 cabins, right? So that's 4,000 mints a day. And of course, you're probably going to lose 300 along the way because the cabin stewards are probably eating them too. I'm just saying.
Oh, and I've seen people, walking by and take them off the cart.
Yeah.
As housekeepers are cleaning.
Guilty. Sorry, I've done that. I'm sorry. So that's 4,000 times 365 days a year. That's 1,460,000 mints. Let's just call it 1.5 million because we know there's going to be 40,000 other mints that just disappear. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Third berths and fourth berths.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Okay, we're going to round that up to 2 million mints a year. Okay.
Anybody know how much mints cost?
Yeah. Somebody go up right now, go on the internet, and find out how much a box of those little mints cost and how many are in there. And then we're going to cut that in half because they buy in bulk. They'll get it at like a wholesale rate as opposed to retail rate. But anyway, yeah.
It's still going to be a
Think
considerable
about
amount
it.
of money.
Yeah. And now, mind you,
That's one ship.
That's one ship.
It-
Multiply that times what? They got 27 ships in the fleet right now, about to be 20. We'll just do 29 because they're about to have 29 ships. But 29 times
2 million.
2 million. I mean, do the math on this, guys. 58 million?
Yeah.
Is that right?
58 million mints.
It's crazy. 58 million mints. So, I mean, even if the mint cost 3 cents, right? 58 million. I don't know what it costs, but let's say it's 3 cents times 0.03. That's $1.7 million. Right?
That's, yeah.
They just put nearly $2 million, $1.7 million back in their pocket by removing the mints. And it may seem like pennies. And in the bigger picture, if you get into the financials of the cruise industry, I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean, the ships themselves, again, we talked, cost $2 billion these days to make the new ones. I think the XL ships for Carnival are like 1.4, 1.5. The Icon 2 point something, right? I mean, they cost a ton of money. And so what's $1.7 million? Heck, they bring on a couple of $1 million worth of food each week onto a ship.
Yeah, they do.
Right? But every penny adds up. That 1.7 million is money that could be invested into a new show, or could be invested into something else. And I know John said invested into Guy's Burgers, but again, I believe that's just lip service. But it's just savings. Take the other $1 million that I did the work on by removing the fact that the gifts are left in the room that you have to go get them, and we're getting close to $3 million a year in savings. Right? Look, man, I'm telling you, I would love to be a fly on the wall for a month at corporate headquarters for all the meetings they have. You would probably crap your pants at the stuff that goes on there. I'm sure of it. But again, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as the experience that we all have at the end of the day is fantastic. Do I miss the mints on the pillow? Abso-freaking-lutely. Is it going to change my cruise? Not one bit. Do I miss having the room cleaned twice a day? Absolutely. Is it going to affect the outcome of my cruise? Not one bit. Not one bit. And do I miss the water and then all the rest of it? Absolutely. It's just not going to affect me. Will it affect others? Yes. Why? Because we hear about it in the entitlement, chats and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get back to some of the comments.
All right.
Mamie says, Chris, hi, my brother, and I did miss the mints on our recent Princess cruise. Yeah. 1.5 million per ship times 15 plus ships. They have, I think, currently 28 ships, 27 or 28, and about to be 29 because they're just, anyway.
It's a lot.
D Seamstress says, I keep asking AARP if they will be selling MSC gift cards at a reduced rate. They said maybe in the future.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. I missed the Cherries Jubilee the waiters used to make at your table. Yeah, on formal night. I remember that. Yep. At the midnight buffets. On MSC on the Seascape, both weeks, on Italian night, the maitre d's were doing a pasta dish.
They
themselves.
were, yes.
Yeah. Not exactly tableside, but sort of tableside, right there.
And I thought that was cool. I've never, to have the maitre d' actually stirring your pasta, putting the sauce in there for you. That was pretty cool.
That was on the Seascape. I don't
Yes.
remember it on the other
either.
ones or not. But,
no,
yeah.
I don't either.
Also, Costco is not selling MSC cruises just yet, But hopefully in the future, MSC is such a good value. Dollar for dollar, it is. It really is. We have said this multiple times, Seamstress. And again, I'm not sure if you're new with us or not. I know it's the first time we've seen you commented, but as we mentioned, we've been on now 6 cruises in the past 7-ish, 8 months, something like that. And dollar for dollar, we find them to be currently the best value out there.
Oh, without a doubt.
Have there been issues in the past? I believe so. Even you yourself said you didn't like the Meraviglia. Everybody's going to find a ship size, shape, and style that they love. Chris will even talk to him about. He loves the Oasis class, ship on Royal. Everybody finds a ship class they love. We enjoy the sea ships, seaside, seashore, sea shape. Love the layout. Love the feel and look of the ships. And then so we just went on the Magnifica, that's what this video is about here, and honestly, I enjoyed it as much as the sea.
I did as well, yeah.
Maybe even slightly more. It was a little bit easier to navigate, I think.
It was easier to navigate, yeah.
Yep.
And, I didn't feel like we were missing out on anything.
Yeah. So I can maybe give you a little bit of insight on like Costco's and the AARPs and stuff like that when it comes to MSC. So MSC's been around for a long time, but 100% European based. They've just now really in recent years started to make the push here to come into America, to keep their ships here full time and have home ports here. Thus, a lot of the change that's going on with them when it comes to their shows, to their food, to their service. People in Europe cruise differently than people cruise here in the United States. We have different expectations. They're meeting our expectations, but it takes time. Change takes time, especially at this level, and the changes are happening. Well, when it comes to the other things, the back-end stuff, like the booking stuff, right? The travel agents, they're not friendly, if you will, the friendliest, I should say, with travel agents. We have several travel agent friends. We are not travel agents ourselves, but we have several travel agent friends, and they hate when we want to go on an MSC ship because the MSC line that they have to call, they're just not as gratuitous, if you will, to the travel agents. And so I think that flows all downhill. Let me explain why. Okay? Again, it's all dollars, guys. Everything here is about money, right? If you didn't know, I'm going to use round numbers. God, I hope I'm not telling any secrets here. I don't think so. Okay. Let's say if you call Carnival, you call MSC, you call Royal, I don't care what cruise line. It is all the same. The only difference is percentage points. Okay? So let's say the cruise is $1,000. Let's say there's a commission on that $1,000 of 10%. Okay? So that means out of the $1,000, there's really $900. Okay? The 10% is $100. Right? So, if you call the cruise lines, that cruise is going to be $1,000. They keep all their money. If you call a travel agent, it's still $1,000. But they have to pay that travel agent the 10%. Their 10% commission. $100. So the cruise line, if you go direct, they make their $1,000. If you go through a travel agent, they only make $900. Okay? Now, again, taking it a little bit further. If you've ever looked into, sitting on a ship and talking to people, and they're like, well, we paid, $925 for our cruise. And you're like, man, I paid $1,000. Well, the reason is there are discounters out there in the travel agent world. What they're doing is they take part of their commissions and they, feed it back to you as a bonus, right? To earn your business. A loyalty thing, if you will, right? And so that's where the difference comes in. So some cruise lines love travel agents. Some cruise lines do not. Why? Because in the end, they lose money. And so if a cruise line has been doing nothing but doing all their bookings themselves internally, and then all of a sudden now needs to start using travel agents, there's a little bit of tugging and pulling because they're now losing money, right? Hopefully that makes sense. It's dollars and cents. It always comes down to money, 100%. Anyway, Chris is like, the good old days of cruising. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the maitre d' it did the cherry jubilee, Caesar salads. Yep, the good old days. They serve lobster and the shell. Yep, absolutely, 100%. On MSC,
It's still
they
in
bring
the
the lobster
shell.
out in the shell and they cut it out for you at the table.
Yeah. I feel like they do that on the Venezia as well. I felt like they did that on the Venezia.
Maybe, yeah. LOL, it looks like Carnival's Miami office employees getting free cruises. Do they all take advantage of it? No. So that's money Carnival gets back. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, it looks like they're selling their building too. It could be, look, there's so many people still working from home. They used to all be housed in the building. A lot of their call centers, if you will, the people helping internally, their inside travel agents, their Carnival people were in that building, but now they're all at home. So they're getting rid of their big building. Going to make some money there too. Hey, Antonio, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I miss the good old days when Isaac would make my drinks. Julie was my cruise director, and Gopher and Doc would flirt with every morning. Good old days. It's what happens when bean counters get a hold of the hospitality industry. Yep, absolutely. Yep, it's just dollars and cents. Davina is great too. Oh, okay, we'll remember that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've only done the ships here for MSC so far that are U.S. based. So at some point we'll get
Venture
over
out
to Europe and get on some of them that are still sailing there to see the difference. Because again, the European cruises and U.S. cruises, they're different. The interesting thing is, and this is why the brands are the way they are. Like most people, when they first start cruising, they're going to go on typically a 3 or 4 day. They're typically going to go on Carnival to begin with, maybe some Royal to start. But anyway, here in the U.S., and there's an experience that you have when you do that. It's like when you go to McDonald's. There's an experience when you eat that burger. So it doesn't matter what McDonald's you go to anywhere in the country, it's going to be that same burger. All right. So if you get on a Carnival ship in Italy, in Greece, in England, anywhere, it's going to be the same Carnival experience you had on the last ship you went on.
Yeah, in the U.S.
It's the McDonald's format.
Yes.
Right? He started it. So MSC is a little different, right? So when they first came here, pushing into the United States, they brought what they were doing in Europe. The Americans didn't like it, right? And so that's why they're making all these changes. What I'm interested to see is when you go over and get on a ship in Europe on MSC, is it the same experience that you have from the MSC ships here in America?
I think it's going to be completely different.
I agree 100%.
I think they're going to remain true to their roots.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, I mean, the fact remains that the cruises in Europe are, what do you call it, open loop? Open loop cruises? Yeah, so, you don't have an entire ship full of passengers that start in one point and go to different ports and then end up in the same port. In Europe, you may get on in Civitavecchia, which is Rome, and you may sail to, I don't know, Venice, or not Venice, but where else? Naples. You may sail to someplace, and half of the ship may stay on, and then the other half may get off and have that many more passengers come on. And so that in itself changes the way there's no sail away party, and people are out in the ports most of the day, so they come on the ship late. So the entertainment is different.
Yep.
And I
We'll see.
don't see that would change to an Americanized format over in Europe, because the way they sail is completely different from the way we sail.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, proof's in the pudding.
It is.
The proof's in the pudding, right?
It is, yeah.
If they're wanting to take and move, we'll use the Seascape. The first 7 days we were on, 90% of the people on that ship, or 95%, it could have been a higher amount, were from Europe.
Yes.
So they flew from Europe, came over here, and got on a ship that they're comfortable with.
Yes.
Just like many people here in America who sail Carnival. And Chris, if it was Royal, you get on a plane, you fly over to Europe, you're going to get on a Royal ship.
Yes.
Right? Because that's who you're
That's-
loyal to Royal or loyal to Carnival
That's
or
what
whatever
you're
it is.
comfortable with,
So-
familiar with.
So now let's turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting, you're new into cruising, you cruise with MSC. Wow. Love the experience. That's great. Loyal MSC. So now you get on a plane and fly to Europe. You better have the same experience.
Well, you
See
do
where
have
I'm
a
going?
point there. I do see where
Right?
you're going.
So, anyway, we're moving on.
All right.
Can
Things to
assist.
think about.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Things to make you go,
Yeah.
And they gave cabin assignments at embarkation. Yep, remember that? Heck, being in Florida, we used to, pre 9/11, we could drive to the port on the day the ship was leaving and go say, hey, got any empty cabins? I mean, they all but give them to you. That's long gone. I really miss that. That was great.
I never took advantage of that.
I only did it
sadly.
once.
I never took advantage of that.
That was great. And we are all being counters, or we would not be talking about these topics. It's all dollars for us too. Well, it is. It is. What did I just say? I think dollar for dollar, best value right now is booking an MSC cruise. I feel again
do as
dollar for
well.
dollar at that level. Chris will argue because again he's a loyal Royal and Disney, and I get that that's all good, but at the price point that MSC is at, it's really now between MSC and Carnival at these price points. It's MSC in our book.
Yeah, I agree.
At this time. Not that there's anything wrong with Carnival. I'm just saying. We enjoy Carnival.
We do.
Yeah. Carnival is in debt about $25 billion. I think they're cutting costs to survive and get out of debt. Oh, without a doubt. Look, and this is another huge difference with MSC. MSC is the only company or only cruising that is 100% solvent. It's because their parent company is a shipping company. And so during COVID, when the world was all stuck at home, but shipping products was like, they made mass profits. They really did. They took no hits. Whereas everybody else, again, the Carnivals and the Royals and the NCLs of the world, they're just cruises, right? Vacations. And so they've had to borrow and borrow and borrow and borrow and borrow.
And now they're having to pay those loans
And they're
off.
having to pay those loans
Yeah.
off. And so I get it. They're turning profits. I mean, it's record bookings. Record bookings, guys. They're making profits. But it will take them some time to get out of the debt, right? And now, mind you, they're also still building new ships. This, to me, at least with Carnival, with their debt, this is also why they're moving ships around, right? They moved several of the Costa ships in and all this different stuff. The ship's already sort of paid for. So it cost them, again, obviously they had to pay to have it converted, but it cost them little to convert it. And now they've increased their bottom line because they have more berths. Just keeps on going.
Yeah, instead of a $1.5 billion, it may have cost them, a $500 million to get those new ships into their fleet. So anyway, so let's see. That was Antonio. Let's see what Chris has to say. And Chris says, you can still get all those things. It just costs you a premium on Royal. You have to book a junior suite or higher. So once a service was included, is now offered for a premium.
Yeah. And that goes for a lot of things. You can get whatever you want. It just costs you money now.
Yeah.
God, there was just something I was watching about that, like today. What was it? I can't remember now, but it was, I can't remember. It was, but that same exact thing. Used to all be included. You can still get it. It just costs you money.
Yes.
I just can't remember. I guess it's smart business. Well, it's smart if people pay for it, right? And people will pay for it because people are paying for it, or they would stop it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's that simple. The only way prices for cruising are going to go down is if people stop booking at those prices, right? Once the ships start looking empty, that's when the prices are going to drop.
Agreed.
When's the bubble going to burst? Don from Don's Family, he did a video the other day. When's the bubble going to burst? I don't know. When's it going to burst? Right now? record bookings.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we talked several times about the ships for 2025 are already 85% booked. Yeah, it's probably more now because it's been a couple of weeks. So it's probably more closer to 90.
I just looked at the Carnival Vista for November. Right, we're starting to think about our fall. It's nearly $800 a piece for an inside cabin.
Inside.
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
For a 7-day, actually, that was a 6-day cruise.
Yeah.
It's not even the 8-day.
Yeah.
Like, really? Man. Yeah, again, smart business. Yeah. Macrina says, and Carnival uses the PVP, which is their own agents, so they get their money back. Yeah, exactly. They're paying inside their salary. They're not working on a commission. Anyway, great job, guys. Hope to meet you both on a cruise someday. Well, speaking of which, here we go. Watch this.
Come join us November 8th, 2025.
There'll be meet and greets,
Parties,
pineapples.
ducks, and of course the live shows.
Don't miss our first ever group cruise. We'll see you on the horizon. Just send me an email, tallmanscruiseadventures@gmail.com. Again, we are not travel agents. We are not having a group cruise so we can make money off of you. We just want to hang out with you guys. So we have, again, friends of ours who have been agents forever. He's got his own travel agency. Absolutely amazing. I've used this person for my booking
For years.
Anyway, and he's got a couple of people. Anyway, Kathy will help you out. But you have to book into the group to be part of the group cruise and all the functions that we're going to have. Okay,
Yes.
but just send me an email if you're interested. Okay, there you have that. So, speaking of interest, for those of you, don't forget, go to Facebook, look us up there. We've got a group. Answer the 2 questions so it lets you in. If you don't answer the questions, it declines you. All right, so answer the 2 questions. We put different content up there on Facebook. So there you go. And of course, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, become part of the Tall Man Clan. It's free to you, cost you nothing. And my good God, we need the help.
Yeah, we do.
Anyway, okay. All right. So Macrina's like, group cruise. I know. I got this. Oh, we need the theme song. We haven't done a theme song.
Oh, okay.
Since D Seamstress is new, we have a theme song. So let's play it.
All right.
Where is? I don't even know where the heck it is anymore. Everything's changed. So many things have changed. I don't see it. Where'd it go? Ah, there it is.
So here we go again, it's no surprise. 'Cause we know better than to roll the
Where'd it go? Oh, man. That's what happens when y'all let me play with the buttons.
You pressed too many
I
buttons.
pressed too many done buttons. I don't know why it stopped. It went back and didn't stop. Anyway, whatever. Well, you got some of the theme song.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. All of us can see the future online ordering, self-checkout, and major companies are cutting. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's not just cruising. Yeah.
That's true.
Yep, Carnival lobster tails are still served in shells.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, the lines. Love the 3 and 4 day millions of dollars saved in fuel. Yeah, speaking of fuel savings, and I'm not sure, at some point maybe we'll be able to figure out, but most of the ports, within the next 3 to 5 years are requiring the ships to plug into shore power as opposed to running the ships, right? Because, the ships essentially are big generators. That's all ships are, right? The motors are electric. Everything is electric. And so what the motors are doing, which have to run all the time, is they're turning generators that create electricity, right? So even when you're in port, the engines still have to run because they have to create the electricity to keep the ship running. Well, so the ports, because of the emissions coming out of ships, said, hey, we need you to plug into shore power. Okay, awesome, great. Question being, is shore power going to be more expensive than the fuel it would cost to actually keep the engines running? I'd love to see if there's savings there or not. Don't know.
That and the transition back to a diesel power or gas, natural gas, or whatever it is, once you lose shore power, getting the engines going back on again.
Yeah, I don't know. Do cruise lines save port fees when they go to their private islands? Of course they do. It's their islands. They charge you, but they, their private islands are leased from, well, they're pretty, for the most part, if we're just talking about U.S.-based cruising and stuff, then we're talking about islands in the Bahamas. Because
correct.
That's, for the most part, where all the private islands are. However, there's stuff in Haiti or Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Yeah,
because Labadee got shut down, I believe, with...
Well, they still have it. They're just not going.
It's just not, they're just
So,
not sailing there currently.
Their private, if you will, is just leased land. Okay, whether it's an island or a chunk of land. Okay, and so whatever they're charging you, port charges, if you will, because they are charging you to go there, that money goes to
their lease.
To their lease, but I promise you, they're making more than their lease costs.
I would tend to agree.
It just it is what it is. So you're helping pay for that island, right? So, hello, Ashley. Yes, have y'all been on Virgin Voyages cruises yet? I really want to at some point. Yes.
Yes.
We were on the maiden voyage of the Resilient Lady. We did a 7-day Greek Isles cruise, and we had a fantastic. The best food at sea we have ever had was on that cruise.
Yes, very good food.
It is all inclusive, the way that their package worked at the time, and they run different specials here, there, or whatever. But they're typically. Let me back up. So their food is all included.
Yes,
right.
The drinks are not.
We'll talk about. Okay. So they don't have main dining rooms. They have multiple, what most cruises would call specialty restaurants, but they're all included. You go eat wherever you want to eat, whenever you want to eat. However, you do have to make a reservation. So we recommend you make the reservations ahead of time. Like, I want to have steak tonight. I mean, we're going to have the steak one night. We're going to have this one night. You can't just show up and try to get in. It'll be booked. So you got to make the reservations ahead of time. I don't mean like 10 minutes ahead of time. I mean like before you get on the ship. Okay. And now that we've for your first time, at least try everything once. Okay. Go to the steak if you like, steak. Go to the steak restaurant at least twice.
Yeah, because their steak restaurant's really good.
They don't really have a buffet. Their buffet up on the Lido, what we all would call the Lido, is a series of little food vignettes. Okay? And they all have different menus. So like at breakfast, they don't all serve breakfast. So it's kind of strange. Plus, you don't walk up and get anything. You go sit at a table, a waiter will come to you, and you'll order whatever you want from whatever the vignettes. They then go and get it and then bring it to you. When we were on the ship, that was an absolute cluster. I mean, disaster.
It was, yeah, without a doubt. Sometimes it would take forever before a waiter would come over. There were times that he got food delivered twice.
Yeah, it was a mess. No,
It was.
inaugural,
It was.
but-
That was inaugural, so
so they may have fixed it.
yes,
Okay.
I would count on them having fixed that.
So outside of that, the restaurants, best food we've had at sea, period. End of story. Entertainment, amazing. Great. All right. So now let's get to the fun stuff. It's an adult cruise. There are no kids. So they don't have to behave. That's the best way to say it.
Everything is suggestive.
Yeah. The name of their ice cream, this probably is the best way to explain it. The name of their ice cream store is Lick Me Till Ice Cream. Need I say anything else? So it's going to be a bit risque. If that bothers you, it's not going to be your cruise line. If that doesn't bother you, you're gonna love it. It's all included.
Yeah. Gratuities are included. Yeah. They had service twice a day.
Yep. Yep.
They've got electronic keypads everywhere that operates the blinds and the lights and the TV and everything.
It's a techie kind of ship.
It is very techy and
But they had moods like, touch the, gonna watch a movie in the cabin, press the movie button and the blinds will go down, the lights will dim a certain level, and 5 or 6 different. I wish I could remember all the moods,
Right.
but it was
That
really
was
neat. Yeah, it was. But yeah, in the more risque-ish stuff, it happens at 9 and 10 o'clock at night. And so again, if those kind of activities are something you don't want to be part of, just go hang out in the cabin, go to bed, or watch a movie from the cabin. So,
yeah, and the shows, the very first line was like 4-letter words right
Yeah.
from the get-go.
Yeah.
So, if that bothers you, then that's not going to be something that you would enjoy. But if that doesn't bother you, it's
like,
a lot of fun.
welcome to Virgin Cruise Lines. How the are ya? Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
We're like, okay.
Yes. And their sail away party, everybody's got champagne to include the staff.
Yeah.
They're all
Everybody's drinking.
everybody's
champagne.
drinking. Yeah.
Yep. They don't have cruise directors. They have, I don't even know what she called herself. She was weird. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking
yeah.
about.
What did they call her? Anyway.
Yeah.
That is one you have to try once to see if it's going to be your speed. Okay? So hopefully that makes some sense for you. We'd go back. It's a little bit more expensive, right? It's a premium cruise line, like
It is,
Celebrity.
but it is, but your gratuities are included.
Correct.
So
Correct.
you're not having to shell that out.
I'm waiting for them to start to do the longer cruises.
True.
Most of their cruises have been short, and
We don't like the shorter cruises.
Which she was talking about, drinks are not included. Most of the times they're offering book now and you get $600, for drinks and free Wi-Fi and blah 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 blah. Anyway,
Yes.
to us that's a drink package because we don't drink.
Yeah, we actually, when we were there, we had that $600 drink package. Plus,
They status
were doing
matched.
a status match, and that gave us each $100 bar credit. So we had a total of $800 that we could have spent on alcohol.
I think we used
We
like
bought-
$30 or something.
Yeah, we bought one drink each.
Yeah.
So
I thought about just walking in the bar and said, "Drinks for everybody."
we did.
Okay,
we
done.
talked about doing that,
Yeah.
but we didn't.
All right, moving on. I believe Walt is right about one thing. He said, "If you're not growing, you're dying." Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
How about the premier cabin on Icon at $60,000 a week? Already sold out for a year, right?
Yes.
Money to burn, I guess.
Yes.
I guess.
Speaking of money,
82
on,
days.
on Icon, the
That cup.
the drink, the
That $100,000 drink chalice. They did end up dropping it or letting it go for $80,000, but somebody bought this chalice at
Yeah.
$80,000.
I couldn't believe it, and it didn't take long at all.
Ends in the air, everybody sway. They're talking about the song. Yep, everybody's song, the happy dance. Peace. Getting closer. They're talking about their cruise. Everybody's clapping. Tom, we can be on board. We could be on board guests. Yes, you can. If you have the internet package. My son does. But to use his phone for 2 hours. Ha ha ha. Good luck with that. You guys can work something out. I'm very excited. Can't wait to hang out with y'all. Absolutely. Sounds great.
Yes.
Can't wait to. We need that once a day. And a theme song that is. I get it. Onboard TMC guest. Oh, he's got the internet package.
Oh, nice.
All right. Tom's been on our show.
Tom has been on our show.
He came out when we were there on the ship with him and just came out and hung out with us.
On the Firenze, yes. Yeah.
We could schedule with Robert. Yes, you can. Everyone says Virgin has best. They do. They're not lying.
Yeah.
It really. I mean, fantastic. It just
And the
presentation.
Oh my goodness.
Exquisite.
Yeah.
They had that lemon thing that looked like a lemon.
Yes.
It was just really insane.
Yeah. Their lemon cheesecake. It comes to you and it literally looks like a whole lemon. The cheese is inside the shell, and then it's got graham cracker crumbles for the crust. Incredible presentation. Never seen anything like it.
Yeah, they have a steakhouse. Forget the name of it. They also have more of a seafood place. We didn't go there. We don't like seafood. They have a place called Gombe.
Yeah, Gombe.
Which is how would you describe Gombe? It's
I'm trying to remember which country.
what's the fondue?
Oh yeah.
Not hot pot. So there's a center thing where that cooks right there. And you order just a bunch of food, and you would put it come in skewers or whatever. You put it on the flame and you cook it right there. What the heck? It's like not fondue. It's not a fondue restaurant, but sort of that sort of style.
Yeah,
But there's a whole thing with it. And anyway, you don't actually do the cooking. Somebody else does. They come right to your thing. It's not hibachi. It's not that kind of a thing, but it's just like that little hot center thingy.
I can't think of what it's called. And they do a drinking game when you go in there too.
Yeah, you're gonna get loaded before you go.
They do. They start serving you alcohol right when you get in.
Yeah. So there's that. There is a golly, I can't remember any of it. We got to go back and watch. Ashley, there's a playlist for The Resilient Lady on our channel. You can go back and watch it. So it's all there. All the names of the restaurants, everything. Okay? Check it out. All right? That'll help. They're called Dynamic Cast Personalities on Virgin. Okay, thank you. The cruise directors. Oh, whatever. Just call it something different. I was on the show too. That's correct. You both have been on the show. You called in, and you actually called in. Chris, he actually was with us, so he just came and sat with us. Tom, Chris.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got Chris on my mind because we just answered Chris's question.
Yes.
Tom, I apologize, buddy. So I can't think of the name of the restaurant. They had like this experimental restaurant. We did not go there.
We did not.
Their menu, we didn't really. We looked at it and we're like, I don't think so.
It was a lot of seafood, and you know how we feel about seafood.
Yeah, I do love seafood. I see food and I like to eat it, but I don't like fish. Speaking of which, it's like dinner time. So, all right, yep. You know what that means. We're going to be wrapping this up in a couple of minutes. So if you got your last questions, your last statements, put them in the chat now. As always, for those who have made it this far, God bless you guys. Make sure you've hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribed and the notification bell. That way that you don't miss anything else. There will not be a stream for the next couple days as we do our final preps for getting on the road. We just need the time, okay? As we told you, we are going to turn the camera on as we head up to Virginia. And so we will take you with you. That is going to be Thursday night. I think we're going to start somewhere around 7:30, 8, something like that. It's not going to be on the computer. It's going to be the phone. So whenever we get on the road, I just hit go on the phone. And so you'll get to look out the front of the truck as we are heading to Virginia, which will probably be the next time we stream. Okay, so just put that out there for you guys. Make sure. Korean hot pot. Thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
Yes, thank you.
But I was still thinking there's a fondue restaurant, but it's sort of the same thing. But yeah, it's a Korean hot pot kind of place. And that food was great too. I feel there was like almost like a chi-bang kind of place. Like I just don't remember. Anyway, no fake eggs on Virgin melting pot. Yeah. Thanks for the review on Virgin. I'm very excited to try. Probably won't be able to until at least 2026, though. I have too many books already for 2024, 2025. I'll understand. A
Our
fondue
pleasure.
pot. Yeah, I was in the right area. Yeah, Gunbay, something like that. Whatever. Yep, cook the meat in it, and they do, but they do it, and in some of those restaurants you do it. They bring it all in raw, and then you do it. There, they do it, which I thought that was interesting because when we went in, I was like, oh, this is going to be real fun, and then they came up and cooked it. I was like, oh, I was kind of almost sort of looking forward to that.
What?
What?
Nightlight?
Yeah, Nightlight Thursday evening. That's right. Mark's like, you rock. No, you rock. Thank you. Great show, Robert and Lisa.
Oh, thank you.
First road trip. Woo woo. All right. Great.
Nice.
On that note, guys, we love you all, and we will see you on Thursday. For those who are going to join us, we hope you all join us. Obviously, we're not on camera. We won't be on camera because the camera's facing forward. Obviously, you'll hear us. We'll be chit-chatting and talking, and it's kind of fun. You just never know. We just no
we
deer.
sing songs. Yeah. Well,
It's
yeah.
3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We do all kinds of strange things
Yes,
because
we do.
we're trying to stay awake. So come hang out. It'll be a blast. All right. So until we see you all again somewhere on the road, be safe.